Hello and welcome to Talking About Success. I'm Jack Canfield, America's #1 success coach, chairman of the Canfield Training Group, and the author of numerous New York Times bestsellers, including the Chicken Soup for the Soul series and most recently, The Success Principles, how to get from where you are to where you want to be. And today I'd like to introduce you to Luis Vicente Garcia. Now, Luis Vicente is a seasoned business performance coach, a managerial trainer, and entrepreneur from Caracas, Venezuela, with over 35 years of experience. He has held roles as CFO of multinational corporations, and during the past 7 years, he has been the CEO of the Venezuelan American Chamber of Commerce, Venezuela's largest binational chamber. Certified by Focal Point Business Coaching and Lead with Purpose, Luis has guided numerous entrepreneurs and leaders to reach their full potential. He also frequently writes for international publications and is a strong advocate for women's empowerment, having spearheaded initiatives like the Women's Leadership Summit, and he co-organizes and hosts the only TEDx Women event in Venezuela. He was also recently recognized as a top leadership and top motivational voice on LinkedIn for his contributions to leadership and personal growth. And as the founder of Incrementum Academy, Luis focuses on leadership development, strategic innovation, and peak performance. And his passion lies in his concept of what he calls motitude, which is the fusion of personal motivation and positive attitude. I love that word. Empowering his clients to transform their evolving mindset to achieve a sustainable success. We want to make sure that the success you get to keep it, and it keeps going. And I also want to say that Luis is one of our newest certified trainers in the Canfield methodology and the success principles, continuing to expand his capabilities in the areas of leadership and mentorship. Luis, I am thrilled to welcome you to the show.
And Jack, it's so wonderful to be here, and it's actually an honor to be here with you in this interview, and especially since we're going to talk about so many wonderful things and ideas.
Well, I'm really glad to have you here. I'd love to start by talking about your company, Incrementum Academy. Can you share a little bit about what led you to start this business and what it's all about?
I worked almost 38 years. I would say more than half of my life was in corporate finance, and then I moved to the service and commercial areas. And even though I had a very interesting career where I developed and I grew and I got to the positions I wanted to be, there was something else in me. There was something like I was always helping people, coaching people, guiding people. And even though I didn't have any formal training on that, it all started to come out together. And actually, I decided in 1912 to actually do this, devote my time to help people, to guide business owners, particularly since the business owner who knows the trade, he doesn't know how to run a company, how to manage a company, how to hire people, do the accounting and all of that. So that's where I thought I could be of help. I could help business owners, entrepreneurs just thrive. And the whole idea behind Incrementum Academy is probably that. Is that be able to put it together, to start working with the little pieces so we create a bigger plan, a bigger roadmap, and to help people in three basic areas: on leadership, on productivity and performance, and business skills. And of course, it all ties with your personal motivation and your personal development, because we are all the same people. The person that wants to be a professional wants to be a personal success as well. So it's all together. You always talk about successes. And how do we bring the people to be there and be ready to absorb the possibilities they have in front of them?
Great. Well, I know you're helping people with a lot of struggles that business people have, but they don't often have the skill sets or the knowledge to deal with, and you do. However, you had these dream job. You're CFO of these multinational insurance companies. You got you're in a C-suite. You're doing all this stuff. You're traveling around all over the world. What made you decide to leave?
I had a very nice career. I started, as we all do, very low in the organizational chart. I was a treasury official. I worked out my way up, and as I was probably the early years of my career, as I was looking what I wanted to be or envisioning what I wanted to be, I decided I wanted to be the CFO of a large multinational corporation. And it happened. And in the way you learn about all these amazing things, and I love really the financial part of management, because I went into accounting, of course, and treasury and capital markets and planning and financial planning and then strategic planning. And you start doing all of this and meeting a lot of people. But there was something else. one of my bosses was always complaining that I spent too much time with my team. Until one time I told him, remember that companies report figures, numbers, units sold, and market share, and all of that. But the guys that are working on that and doing that are everybody's teams are desiring to work on the company and to bring it up. So that will be always a few discussions with my bosses. But the idea was I wanted to help people all the time. And that's when I decided that, yes, I had a very nice position, CFO, European company. As you say, we traveled to South America, to North America. In my previous job, I had to go 2-3 times a year to Europe. But there's a moment in which you think you want to do something else. And that something else was help people. But on the management side, on the leadership side. And of course, somebody asked me, are you sure of what you're going to do? You're never sure. It's a leap of faith. It's a big jump that you want to do. Just hoping that it will come out all right. But I think the idea behind all of that is that once you are clear on your goals, once you're clear on what you want to do, it becomes very easy. At the beginning, we are all scared. We lost a corporate job. But a couple of years later, a friend of mine, can you give me some recommendation if I want to do the same? I said, I should have started earlier.
One of my friends always says, when you make a decision like that, the only question you ever ask yourself is, why didn't I do it sooner?
Exactly. Yes, that's true.
So I just want to underline that for everyone watching, that you took a leap of faith, you said. You're never sure. But almost everyone I've ever talked to, I said they were so glad they did it. So you have a lot of courage to pivot like that. And here you are, you make the change. So talk about some of the things you've seen, some of the results you've produced.
I think it's very important for any of us to understand that what we're doing will benefit somebody, will benefit us, and it takes time. It's not from one day to the other. It's not a very fast process that will occur. But over time, you start looking at them doing the things that they need to be doing, how to get the goals and the metrics and the numbers, and how to work with their teams, how to talk to their teams, how to get involved or bring them into their decisions. Years ago, the strategy plan was done by the board members. Now everybody has to chip in. Everybody has to be convinced that what we're doing is the right thing. So seeing those little wins, as we all call it, the little wins that you all make, little wins that people understand, and it's very excited when you don't go coaching, just the hour or the 2 hours that you go and do the coaching. It's when people start calling you. And they call you because they have an idea. They call you because they have a question. They call you because they want to bring in a team member to do something else. And then you don't realize, and they don't realize it. They call me, one of them, and at the end, most of them become your friends. One of them even called me to say, "Luis, I'm going to propose to my girlfriend." And it's so wonderful. I had a lot of insurance brokers before I went into this coaching, where you can be an insurance broker, or you can be the counselor to your clients. And it's not only about insurance, it's insurance and finance and probably investments and all the things. But you have to get ready, you have to prepare yourself. So, and seeing people go through what they thought there was a limit, daring to do new things, and bringing their teams about, the teams that were ready to probably have more possibilities, but many times the business owners don't allow them because they think or they believe they have to do everything. It was very interesting, and to see the companies grow even in hard times, as many countries have gone through, it's a wonderful experience. And now I see some of my team members in the past. Now they are speakers. Now they are, the MCs for some events. Now they write and do other things. You feel very proud.
Yeah, I get that. So let's talk about Incrementum Academy. You've started that. Talk about some of the things you offer and how people could choose to play with you if they wanted to.
Okay. We decided to focus on 3 main areas, which is leadership development, productivity and performance, and the development of business skills. We all know that we have a limited number of times. I'm an economist, so when we studied economics, you had 3 main resources: the work, the capital, and earth. In Spanish, it's tierra, trabajo, capital. In English, I'm not sure what the names are, but that's a concept. Today, we changed the earth and that big part of the natural resources to our time. So we need to be better in time management, in selling and marketing skills. We need to have, a basic knowledge of finance. And I find that nobody knows finance when you go into business, because you're an architect, you're a lawyer, you are a painter, you are a dentist, and you don't know how to run a company, and even less you will know about finances. So those are the skills you need to take. On the productivity is how to be better, how to do it faster, but not only in the faster sense, but also get the efficiency and the effectiveness that we all need to work on that. And the leadership part for me is the most important part, because anybody can be a leader. You just have to develop, you just have to grow, you just have to be able to understand what your skills are, and then use it to inspire people, use it to teach people and to guide people. So for me, leadership and mindset go together. And I offer one-on-one coaching, group coaching, workshops, 1 or 2 day events. And we're going next year into the online mini courses, because there's more people in need of listening to these things. And I think after a while, you are able to offer like personalized development programs and leadership programs, which I think is what we will end up doing in probably a couple of years.
That's great. That's great. Lots of options.
Yes.
So as I understand it, you have these 2 aspects that you talk about, motivation and attitude. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, probably since 2010, I started writing, and I'm always a positive person, even in a country or a region in the world that usually goes through very harsh and very difficult situations. But I developed, what I say was my philosophy. And years ago, probably about 16, 17 years ago, I was in a seminar in Florida. I called home. My younger kid was probably 5, 6 years old. And he said, "Dad, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm in a motivational seminar." I said, "What is that?" How do you explain to a 5-year-old what motivation or success is? And I just told him, it's what allows you to wake up happy and remain happy for the rest of the day. So since then, I was thinking about what is motivation, how can we put it to work to ourselves, and then writing on motivation and attitude and all the things. I always said I need to come up with just a word. And after probably doing a lot of trials, I said this is multitude. And multitude for me is amazing, because it's the same in almost every language. All the Latin languages, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, and in English, they start with the same words, actually. Uh-huh. Probably you have a double T or an E at the end, but it's the same concept. And so when you have this multitude issue, which is not only being motivated, not only having a positive attitude, is having the right mindset. I combine it with 3 words. I call them the 3 C's: clarity, collaboration, and connection.
What was the first one?
Clarity, collaboration, and connection.
Got it.
In order to be clear on what you want, you have to be motivated. Mm-hmm. In order to collaborate with people, you need to have the right attitude. And in order to thrive, in order to actually grow more than what you think you're able to, you need to create the connections we all need. And the connections will join you through what we now know is the emotional and intelligence side. But it's working on your mindset. And it's not only a growth mindset, as we've heard all these past years. For me, it's an evolving mindset.
Explain what you mean by that.
When you want to grow, you start doing things. You prepare for a race. You prepare for an exam. You prepare for getting a new job, launching your company, launching a new product. But there's a point that, yes, you know all the technical stuff, but you need something else. What's the connection to the people? How will people react? How will they join and be able to really enjoy what you do? And so you need not only to grow, but to evolve. In economic terms, it's very easy to explain, because our needs change over time, our wants change over time, particularly since the pandemic. Everybody is in a different speed. They don't want to concentrate. They don't want to go and work at the office, but they want to do it online. So you need to evolve, and bosses need to evolve, and leaders need to evolve, and companies need to evolve. Because for me, if we live in this part of the world that is always a challenge, the companies that survive are the companies that are able to adapt, to be flexible, and to understand what the customer needs in order for them to make it. Probably 7 years ago in Venezuela, you wouldn't find small, I don't know how you say that, but just 2 pills or 4 pills, because there was only a box, either 10 pills or 20 pills. Now you find the 2 pills, the 4 pills, the half a box, the half a little, the quarter, whatever, because people's money, people's income changes.
Right.
And so when you have a disposable income that has changed, your purchasing component will change. So now we probably go more often to the supermarket, but buy less things. So how do you adapt to that? So for me, the business owner, the entrepreneur, they need to have this growth mindset, but at a certain point, you need to evolve.
Why are you so passionate about this? I mean, I know I've known you before we started this interview, and that's why I have you here. You obviously have a passion for helping people evolve.
Yes.
Why is that so strong?
Because, probably coming from a country where things have been very difficult. I graduated in 1984. In 1983, we had the first currency control, and we had it ever since. So you need to know that even in the harsh times, you can evolve and you can thrive. And there are still successful people and there are still successful companies. Many have struggled, but when you see companies celebrating 20 years, 40 years, 100 years in countries like Mexico, Venezuela, Panama, Portugal, many countries, well, that's a success we need to celebrate. Mm-hmm. And for me, the only way you can do that is when your mindset works in a way that, yes, challenges will be daily almost, and the situations will be complex and probably complicated. But it's how you decide to go through. For me, everything is a decision. Either you do the right decisions or the wrong decisions. But people are also questioning what the decision will be in the future. You have to worry about what the decisions you're taking today will affect you in the future, either consequence or good results. So if we start working today, there's a beautiful quote, I think it was by C.S. Lewis. He said, we can never go back to have a new beginning, but we can start today, have a new end. So we need to start today. And if we start today with this passion, and we start today, is not being only an optimist. We can be, but that's not the reality. It's a positive attitude. And when I usually say is personal motivation, because we are the ones that motivate us.
Right.
We're the ones responsible for that. And we can help other people to eliminate the things that demotivate them. We would probably not motivate them. We can make the environment for it to happen. So it's probably, for me, it's kind of a philosophy of mine where I like that.
Great. Now, I know you're happily married, I think 33 years. You have a family. It's a wonderful family. Given all this stuff you've been doing, all this change and I know start a business is hard. And how have you created balance in your life?
It's hard. And particularly, I probably refer to the difficulties in the different countries, but when the companies you work for were either sold or went into Chapter 11 or had to close for whatever reason, and we've probably been there at all of the possibilities. So you need to work for about 20 hours a day for about 3 months straight. And my son was only 6 months old. So it's hard not to see them. It's hard not to be at the house. Or getting home after you finish a really tough year at the company and you needed to close the inventory process at 10 p.m. on New Year's Eve and getting home at 11. It gets hard on the family. But when my wife and I, Virginia and I, have been married for 32 years. We have 2 wonderful kids, 30 and 23. And now seeing that, because when I started my company in 2012, for them it was my company. Today, my kids are involved in my Incrementum Academy. They came up with the name. They came up with ideas.
Oh, really?
They're coming up with the webpage. They're coming up with so many things. And now I want to say it's a family business, but we are all together, and that's very nice.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love it. So if you had one main message for our viewers today, based on your experience and your passion and all of that, what would you say that is?
I would say we have the possibility to really be what we want to be. It's just the process that you will be deciding on how to get there. Mm-hmm. So going back to the clarity, is know where you are, where you want to go, and how you are going to get there. It'll never be a straight line, as we all know. You have every single form in the way, but it's just deciding that you can be better, you can help others, you can thrive, you can do whatever you want. It's just a decision-based process with the right tools that for me will be, being clear and collaborate, but also having the attitude and motivation, but also working on who you want to be, because we are the professional person, we are the personal person. And sometimes people separate them. It's just one person. And if we work on the person from both sides, or for whichever number of sides we can figure out, we will be able not only to have a better professional, a better person who creates a better team and a better company. And imagine if we can all do something together in order to have a more peaceful life all over the world. But at least we are not going to be able to make it that all over the world, but at least start today with you, your family, your friends.
Yeah, little ripples going out over time. So if people want to work with you, they want to work with your academy, where do they go? How do they contact you?
I will invite them to visit my webpage, incrementumacademy.com. They can reach me at Luis Vicente at incrementumacademy.com, or look at me on LinkedIn. It's also Luis Vicente Garcia.
Beautiful. All right. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today. This was a fascinating conversation. You're a good guy. You're doing great things. I'm really proud of you. And thanks for joining me.
It's been a pleasure, Jack. Thank you so much.
And thanks to all of you who also joined us watching and tuned in this week. And I look forward to you joining us again next time, when I'll be talking about success with another teacher and thought leader who can help you live a happier, healthier, more effective, more fulfilling, and successful life. Until then, take a good look at your life and make sure you're continuing to explore the principles and the actions that will get you from where you are to where you want to be. Thank you for watching this episode of Talking About Success. Remember, your success is a journey. So for more information and free resources to help you, be sure to visit jackcanfield.com/learn more.